get power. Follow Jesus Christ, you get power. Follow Jesus Christ, you get power. And your power you never get over. Follow Jesus Christ, you get power. Follow Jesus Christ, you get power. Follow Jesus Christ, you get power. And your power you never get over. Lelo, 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 lelo. Lelo, 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 la. Lelo, 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 lelo. Lelo, 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 la. Lelo, 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 lelo. Lelo, 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 la.
night, church. Happy New Year. Before I get down to my subject this evening, I want to spread some news with you. Now, there were two cars in an accident, and both cars were smashed up real bad. So the drivers came out and they started arguing with each other and saying, well, it's your fault, and so they kept going on. But then driver number one decided, well, look, we only have one life. The cars are damaged, but we are safe. No scratches. So he said, we should be friends. Driver number two agreed. We'll be friends. And then driver number one says, hey, look, there's a bottle of whiskey there. And it didn't get broken in the accident. Maybe we should drink and be merry. So driver number two agreed. So driver number one gave him the bottle and he started to drink. And he kept telling him, you my friend, drink, drink, drink. So he kept on drinking, and when he was drunk, driver number one moved away from him, went to his red car and sit. So the drunken man said, are you going to take a drink with me? He said, no thanks. He said, why wouldn't you drink with me? He said, because I'm waiting for the police. Now, people overdo their celebrations at New Year's. This guy was so drunk, he had so much alcohol in his body, and he went outside, got bitten by a vampire, and guess what? The vampire got a free Bloody Mary. On a more serious side, 2016 have been a terrible year for a lot of people. And coming through the door tonight, I heard one guy say, 2016? If 2016 was a person, I'll sue him for pain, suffering, and loss of wages. But what I really want to talk to you about tonight is my encounter with a madman. Now, I don't know how this guy knew I was a Christian. I don't think my light was shining so bright. But he came up to me and he said, I could never be a Christian. So I asked him why. He said, I don't like how you people interpret the Bible. So I said, what do you mean? He said, you read the Bible, but you don't read between the lines. He said, you remember Peter? I said, I love Peter. Peter was a good man. He said, wrong. I said, what do you mean? He said, Peter was a vindictive man. He is a man, he never really supported Jesus wholeheartedly when he was healing people. He wasn't pleased with all the healing. And the reason why he denied Christ 3 times is because Jesus healed his mother-in-law. So I looked at him, and I kind of stepped back. And then he said, again, you people, you act as though that traveling by donkey, horse, and mule was the only means of transportation in those days. He said, but you never mentioned anything about the car they drove. I said, they drove a car? He said, yes, they had one car. It was a Honda. I said, well, how do you know that? He said, the Bible tells you that when the disciples moved around, they were all in one accord. And then he jumps in front of me and he said, Jesus was a black man. I said, well, I'm not going there. He said, well, you could stay here. I said, how do you know that Jesus was a black man? He said, because Jesus loved the gospel. He called every man brother. And he could never get a fair trial. So I started to move away from this guy, I turned my back on him, but I can feel his presence coming behind me. And he's muttering things like, Samson was the greatest comedian people brought the house down. Noah entreated the chickens in the ark for talking foul language. He said, David was the first babysitter. He rocked Goliath to sleep. And then he jumps up and he said, the reason why God created man before woman is because God didn't want any advice on how to do it. I stepped away from him again. But he started to talk about things like what happened in the Garden of Eden. I don't know how he knows that. But he started attacking Eve. He said, Eve, that skinny woman. Ever since she eat that fruit, all of a sudden, the woman become health conscious and weight conscious. He said, imagine she walking around with no clothes all the time in the garden. And Adam gave her a little piece of leaf to cover herself because God didn't give them anything in. A little piece of leaf to cover herself. She started getting attitude with Adam. She said, Adam, doesn't this leaf make me look fat? So I kept on trying to blank him out. Then he comes up to me. He said, I've done my due diligence. This, what I'm doing is spreading the good news. He says, it's called evangelism. Well, I couldn't understand that. So he advanced to me again and I started moving away from him. He said, well, are you afraid me or what? I said, no, I'm afraid of you. He said, well, you are the Christian and I am the one who making all the biblical points. Say something to save your soul. And that church, he made his first mistake. He challenged me. He said, if you don't make 2 points, I am going to declare myself the winner. I said, this is not a game. He said, I said, well, if you want to play this game, this is how you want to play it. Game on. He said, make it 2 points and shut up, my man. I said, all right. I said, you remember Lot's wife? He said, the woman who turned up in her assault? I said, yes. He said, well, did she? I said, well, she was a very good woman. He said, a good woman? The woman disobeyed. She turned back when she was supposed to turn back, and you said she's a good woman. What makes you see she's a good woman? I said, let me tell you something. Lot was just as responsible for her turning back as she was. He said, wait a minute, explain that. I said, well, Lot chose to answer a question at the wrong time. I said, what question is that? I said, well, while they were walking out to freedom, Lot asked, he said, honey? She said, yes, Lot. He asked, who is following us? So, right away now, I started feeling good and I'm moving and I'm bouncing, you know? Yeah, he watching me like that. He said, what happened? You win nothing yet? I said, you mean I win nothing yet? He said, because I tell you, make 2 points. You only make 1. So make 1 point. Oh, I taken the win. Well, then my competitive juices started flowing again. I said, all right, I'll make 1 more point. And after that is good morning, good evening, good night. I am done. He said, all right, make your point. I said, in the Bible, there was a man who never had a parent. He never had a mother. He never had a father. He said, what kind of man is that? I said, that was a good man, a powerful man. He said, what was that man's name? I said, that man's name was Joshua. He said, Joshua never had a mother, never had a father? I said, yes. He said, explain that. I said, well, if you go to the Bible, in the book of Joshua, in the very first verse of the very first chapter, the Bible tells you that Joshua was the son of Nun. So when I look back, there was no madman, he was gone. So what I want to say, the moral of the story is, church, never argue with a madman, because he'll break you down to his level and he beat you off experience. Now, the reason why I won, as you all can see tonight, I'm more mad than he. Thank you.